I'm going to keep my comments brief too this morning. Obviously, the report is here. It is a significant meeting after the awful attack on John last week, as you say, Chair. But I think I want to begin by thanking board members, political members and the public for the overwhelming support that we've all received. Those messages have been put back to John's immediate family following this awful attack. You will appreciate as well from your own comments just how hard the team that Mark is leading have been working since last week to bring the offenders to justice. We've made numerous arrests now, as you see in the public domain, and I've been out myself 3 times to Omagh for various reasons to see firsthand what is going on and see John's family, to give them every support. And it's been quite tremendous, the effort that's gone into the determination to catch the people that have done this, both from those investigators that are dealing with the immediate aftermath, the crime scene investigators that help us piece together the evidence bit by bit, and also the determination of colleagues from across the country, many of whom who knew John, to do their bit. So we are pushing ahead as quickly as we can. I know there's been continued attention and concern about John's condition, and we've again had messages from all over the world, in actual fact, sort of extending people's thoughts to us and his family at this difficult time. He remains critically in a hospital, but he's in good care, and we're ensuring that his wife and son have every possible support from the organisation at the moment. We've had a number of constructive meetings, probably echoing some of your sentiments in terms of explaining the security situation, and not just the immediate aftermath, but the medium-term consequences. So that I think it's been important to reflect what this means for policing, but also wider society at the moment. And again, through those briefings, some of the most senior politicians in the country have also expressed their concern and also have been really, really personable in their approach to John's family. It's all too easy to forget that a lot is also going on in the wider politics at the moment, and there have been some questions raised in the margins about the the revision to the protocol arrangements and the effect on loyalism. And I think it may come up today, but it's also worth saying early on, at the moment, in the midst of everything else, we assess that loyalism remains calm in terms of the chatter, but we'll keep that perspective under careful review. I think it will come up a number of times today, but we are really concerned about the budgetary situation we face, that you only have to look into the eyes of tired officers and staff that have been dealing with this investigation to realise the strain it has put into the organisation. But as things stand at the moment, we are still due to lose over 300 more police officers and further police staff next year. So at some point, these questions have to be addressed if we're to continue with the pace and the resilience that we currently enjoy. I think it's interesting as well to remember that despite the events that have clearly sent shockwaves across the country and indeed into the organisation, that policing still carries on. And I thought it's about paying tribute to the people that work for us, that they carried on with that determination and resilience over and above all the other things that are going on. And a small sense of what's been dealt with, over 3,999 calls, over 350 arrests and nearly 1,500 crimes have still gone through the police service, as well as dealing with all this. So we continue to respond promptly to calls for assistance from the public and indeed give service to victims. A bit like last month's theme, we will come back with more formality, but in the midst of all this as well, we've received very constructive verbal feedback from the inspection, from Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary, about how we treat victims and the quality of our investigations. Now clearly, as we said last time, that's subject to final moderation, etc. elsewhere. So we won't say too much yet, but alongside the feedback we gave you last month, some pretty constructive feedback on a number of fronts about how we're both protecting the public and dealing with a range of issues internally. I think the thing to probably join you on is still the rally call that despite the progress we've made in the investigation, the budgetary position means that we need to do all we can together to make sure that the people that we rely on to deliver policing really have the tools to do the job well, and I think that's one of the big issues for today, Chair. Finally, obviously, the board itself is in transition, and I'd just like to, on behalf of all of us, put on record our appreciation to Carmel and to Michael for their work at the board over the last few years and their support to us and helping us remember some of the detail and hold us to account, but also the collective endeavour, and wish them well in their future. So thank you, Chair.